Hi guys, I'm not dead and I'm posting a video for once, and it's been like, what, 3 weeks since I've last posted something on YouTube? 3 or 2 weeks? I'm not really quite sure. It's been a good while though, and it's been like 2 weeks since school started. To start off this video, I want to apologize first of all to both you guys, Brittany and Melissa, well especially Melissa, because she seems like, I don't know, like you seem to care a lot about this, and I'm sorry for like disappointing you by not posting that many videos or posting on time. Okay, my first week of school was quite stressful, as I already told you, Melissa. So like, in the beginning I had lots of classes, and especially like I had chemistry and biology on the same day, so those were very like strenuous classes. And the syllabuses, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. The syllabuses or the syllabi are like, I don't know, like 10 to 20 pages long per class. So it was very like overwhelming to see all these requirements. And then I got super stressed out during the first week of school. I was thinking about quitting honors college, and then I thought about like changing my major to maybe something easier, but then I realized that there probably isn't anything I actually enjoy that would be easier. Which kind of sucks, because I would love it if I could find something that was, you know, easy and that I actually enjoyed. But yeah, so I was super stressed out and decided not to quit honors college, or at least to stay for the first semester and see how it goes. And I decided not to change my major because, as I said, my major is probably the only thing I'd enjoy if I did have to choose a major. Yeah, and I also told Melissa about how in my classes, I'm in honors college, right? So in my classes, most of them are filled with only honors students. And the fact is, like, back in AMSAT, we're supposed to be magnet students, but back in AMSAT, most kids weren't even that motivated. Most kids didn't really care. They do everything last minute, and they'd be super lazy. And I'm not saying that, like, that was a good thing, but I'm saying that that was what I was used to. But here in honors college, it seems like everyone is super motivated and will do things like days before it's due, and will like study like everything, and they actually know what they're doing, and they seem super responsible and super hardworking, and it's kind of just intimidating to see how these people just care so much, and like coming from Clark, where everyone just didn't care about anything. Like, it's just I feel like a fish out of water. And then I ranted to a lot of people about it, and then everyone basically said the same thing, which was stop comparing myself to everybody else and just do you, like, just do yourself, was like the advice that I got. So I decided, okay, whatever, I will just do whatever I do. And I'm surviving, and I'm doing okay in school. I mean, I'm not failing. Like, I don't know how you'd fail the first 2 weeks of school, but I'm doing good. I'm like paying attention in class, and classes aren't like super hard yet because we don't have that much homework. Speaking of my classes, I have a math class. I told you guys I'm retaking calculus, and my calculus class is just, I don't know, it just feels completely, like, it feels harder. I don't know why. It just, cause I feel like relearning the same thing that you already know but in a different way just makes it super complicated, because you already know the stuff, and you think you know the stuff, and you know the stuff, but when the teacher explains the thing that you're supposed to be learning and you know it, but she explains it in a different way that your other teacher taught you, it's just really confusing because it's not a way that you're used to. Other than that, maths is pretty much boring because it's like the same thing we learned all over again. I'm taking English rhetoric, which is it's not a hard class, but it's a lot of reading, and it's a lot of boring reading, and it's a lot like the beginning of AP Literature, the first semester where we did freaking, we did the reading camps or whatever. I don't even know. What was the point of that crap? But yeah, we read like long pages of pointless things, and we'd have to write a billion word and like answers to the questions, and it was so redundant, so pointless, and so boring. As you can see, I obviously don't like English at all. I was hoping that this year would be the last year I would take English, but I'm pretty sure because I'm stuck in honors, I'm gonna have to take more years of English. And that brings me to the topic of what I was thinking when I signed up for honors, because I kind of realized that there's like very few benefits to getting into honors other than the title. and like you do a thesis at the end of your senior year, which is cool and all that, but you could do a thesis if you had the right contacts. Like you could get into good research if you talk to the right people. So it doesn't make much of a difference if you like, you know, if you just talk to the right people, there would be no benefit. There'd just be more work. And then the main class, which is the most important class, is biology. And all my friends that I have in my biology class are like pre-med, so they're super responsible. And they see, like, whenever they're talking about the biology topics and what we learned in class, they seem like they know everything they're talking about. But for me, I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on. And then I'm very confused and very concerned about how I'm going to pass when everyone seems to know what they're doing. But it's just the beginning biology class, so if I fail this, then I probably shouldn't be a biology major in the first place, so what the heck. The first Friday? No, the first Thursday, I don't remember, I think it was like the 27th? Yeah, the 27th, we had this thing called Premier UNLV, which was like this festival at UNLV. And it was kind of fun, kind of boring. Like in the beginning, we sat in the sun and it was like on this grassy field and they had crappy lukewarm pizza to eat and their water wasn't cold at all. And then we sat there for a couple of hours until the sun set. And then when the sun set, we stood in a gigantic, like we shaped, like every single year shaped themselves into the letters of UNLV. So it was like freshmen's U, sophomores N, and then juniors L, and then seniors V. And basically they're supposed to take a picture of us, like, I don't know, eagle eye view, and then they'd take a picture and we would have just like be standing there in our different letters, and it was supposed to be cool. I'm not quite sure if it was cool because I couldn't see the picture, obviously. And then afterwards, like, I was telling my friends all about this. I was like, oh my gosh, guys, go to Premier UNLV, there's gonna be fireworks. And you know what happened? There was, like, fireworks for 5 seconds, and then it ended, and then everyone just stood there in silence and looked at each other and was like, is that it? So yeah, that part was disappointing, but then they had, like, a party afterwards where everyone danced, and that was fun, but then I had to leave early because my friends were driving, and I wanted them to drive me to the parking garage because I didn't want to walk. Yeah, so Premier UNLV was okay. And then, oh yeah, on the same day of Premier UNLV, there was this really cool thing. I already told you, Melissa, but I want to tell Brittany, like, about it because it's just super cool. It was, let me find the paper. Okay, it's this thing called International Student Volunteers. It's basically like this program where you and this group of people go over like abroad to to go to a different country. It's either Costa Rica, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, Dominican Republic, South Africa. And then you can pick one of those 6 countries, and then you basically volunteer there. You can help them with conservation efforts or like community like building efforts and stuff. And then you help people, or you can like plant trees and help endangered species and other animals. And it's really cool because you get this experience of going abroad, and you also get this experience of volunteering abroad and seeing like how these different countries like live and everything. Because for the first 2 weeks you volunteer and you help people out, and you can build houses, plant trees, do conservation efforts, etc., etc. But if you pay for the next 2 weeks, then you do these super cool things, which is like, they're called adventure tours. Yeah. And then you can go skydiving, rafting, like hiking, bungee jumping, all these cool things in these different countries. And then, oh yeah, and, like, you can go horseback riding. Okay, like that part is cool too. Like, it's super cool, and then it's just like 4 weeks over the summer. Yeah, like, I sound like I'm advertising something, but I was super excited and I really wanted to do this. But it costs like, for the first 2 weeks it costs like $3,000, and then for the next 2, like if you want to do 4 weeks, it costs $4.5K, which I think is a pretty good deal. But then you have to think about paying for your own ticket, and you have to pay for travel insurance and stuff like that, which might add a bit more money. But I have like scholarships, so I thought it wouldn't be that expensive, and I kind of really want to do it, but I actually don't know. Like, I got the acceptance letter a couple of days ago, but I don't know which country I want to go to, so I had to think about that for a while, and I hope that the seats don't get taken, because that would suck. Speaking of volunteering, they had the they had this involvement fair, which was on Tuesday, and then I went there and I didn't really get a chance to look around because there were too many like booths, and all the booths had like really weird names, and I was very confused because I didn't understand what, like, there was one called UNLV Rebellion, and I was like, what does that even mean? What's this club even about? And since there were so many clubs like that, I didn't want to walk around and ask every single club, so I just decided to go to the volunteering booth, which is called like UNL Volunteers, which is like some weird pun or something. But yeah, anyway, so that was the only booth I went to, and I think that'll be the only club I'm going to be joining during at least the first semester of freshman year, so that I don't get too overwhelmed, because I got like freakishly overwhelmed during the first week of school. So at least if I just join one club, I'll be able to do something productive while I'm not getting too overwhelmed. Well, yeah, like, they also have this cool thing, which is called alternative breaks, which is like this thing, which is like the ISV thing, but you also get to travel to some place, and then you get to help people out in different places. And then, like, the first one they have is traveling to the Grand Canyon. Hi, Melissa, Grand Canyon. But yeah, the Grand Canyon, and then you get to like help with the conservation and cleaning up the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. And it's super cool, and I mean, it's not like traveling to another country cool, but it's still cool because you get to travel and help out other places. So other than that, I think my classes have been pretty much normal. Like, they haven't been too difficult. They have, like, I have a lab class, and then the lab classes can either be super short or super long. Like, the first time we went to my lab class, it took like an hour to finish a lab, but then the second time we went overtime. So when my class was supposed to end at like 5:15, I ended up ending like, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes later, and I got home like at 6:30, and it was super annoying, and I hated it. But yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like the labs are super pointless because they're not really labs. They're like elementary school labs that you would do, where you just like test out different materials and test out the pH of them, and it's not super sciencey. But then again, this is a beginning biology lab, so it's to be expected, but it's also very boring and very time consuming and annoying. And then I end up getting like a super terrible group, and they're the worst people in the world. Well, not the worst people, but the worst workers, and this ruined my grade. Well, yeah. But yeah, so while I'm not in my classes, I either do homework, which is obvious, or I do, because I've been, on the weekends, I play like Animal Crossing. Yes, Animal Crossing is so cute. You guys should get an Animal Crossing, by the way, so I can add you and we can be friends, and I can visit your town, and it'll be super adorable, and we'll be like super adorable Animal Crossing buddies. So in Animal Crossing, I posted on Snapchat, but I made this cosplay of Luffy from One Piece, and it makes me the happiest thing in the world because I just like looking at it. Don't judge me, guys, but it's super cute, and I just want to hug him, and I'm like, ah. While I'm not playing Animal Crossing, I'm like the complete polar opposite. I'm playing GTA and shooting people and like robbing banks and, I don't know, murdering people for no reason. It's a video game, guys. I'm not actually gonna do that, don't worry. Speaking of psychotic murderers, that kid texted me, and then I was kind of very, like, he texted me a couple of days ago, and I was playing GTA, and I was just like, you know, walking around, shooting people, la-da-da-da-da, and then suddenly I get this text message, and then I didn't remember the number at first because I deleted him, but then when I looked at the text message, it was like, hi, and then a smiley face, and I don't know, for some really stupid reason, like, my first thought was, oh, what's, like, I thought it was a girl at first because of the smiley face, so I'm like, who did I add from class that, like, I didn't save their contact? But then I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I've added everyone's contacts, and then I thought it was, like, Brandon, and I was, like, super excited for 1 second, and then I was like, oh, wait, never mind, that wouldn't happen at all, and then I looked at the last 4 digits, and then I realized, holy crap, it's that freaking. And then I was crying, and then I was stressed out, and then I texted Melissa right afterwards, and then I texted a bunch of other people, and I was like crying. I was like, oh my gosh, the freaking dude texted me. After I finished panicking, I ignored it in favor of playing GTA some more. And then time passed, and I forgot about it, and then I looked back on the text, and it was like the day after, and I was like, oh, I didn't reply to it, oh well, and then I just deleted it. Oh my gosh, like, I was super nervous about ignoring it though, because I was like, I hope he doesn't get mad. I'm too nice for my own good. Okay, yeah. Anyway, besides the random text, my dad left for the Philippines. I don't know. I think it was like last week. I don't really remember. Like, I explained this to my family. Like, I walked outside to the living room, and then he was in the kitchen. And then I went back into my room, and I played on the computer for a while. And then when I went outside, he was, like, gone. And then I was like, oh, where is he? And then my mom's like, oh, he left. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then that was it. So, yeah, he just randomly disappeared in the afternoon while I was in my room. So I guess that's, like, a great story. So, that's my life, guys. My life for the past 2 weeks has been classes and video games while I'm not in classes. Oh yeah, okay. Well, today I went to the shark reef, which was cool. I like the shark reef. I touched the stingray thing, and it was cool. And then I took a lot of Snapchats with little snarky comments. I think you guys saw that, maybe, unless you don't go on Snapchat, cough Brittany. But yeah. I guess, like, I posted those. The shark reef was cool because it was my friend's birthday, and then we went to the buffet. And we went to, like, the Mandalay Bay buffet, and we ate there, and that was pretty cool, too. Yeah. And then, well, we celebrated my sister-in-law's birthday on Friday, and they had food, and it was kinda, it wasn't that entertaining, because they, like, just sang, and I was kinda, like, bored because I didn't like singing. So, yeah. Okay, so that's my very insightful, like, video about Rachelle's amazing and super exciting life. Okay, I'm done, guys. This is my happy, amazing video. So remember, think less, live more.